Hey everybody.
How's it
We
going?
we are live. How's it going, Julian?
Excellent, excellent. I was playing around more with App Gen this morning. It's been a good day. And then I played around with Gemini 3. I'm sure you heard that
Oh
launched.
yeah, I've been meaning to try that. Is it publicly available now?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll send a link. It's just like aistudio.google.com.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good. It's still Claude Code, man. Claude Code. Nothing beats Claude Code. But
Really?
anyways, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, just starting off the day here in Utah, 8 a.m. So um first thing I'm doing.
Oh yeah, this is a very there's a big time zone gap in this live stream. It's 8 p.m. for you and it's 4 p.m. for me, or 8 a.m. for you,
Yep,
4 p.m. for me.
yep, there we go.
Oh yeah. Well, what are we doing today?
Yeah, really just, looking to dive into App Gen, explore it. We're gonna try out some different apps. Here's kind of, you know, a little bit of an agenda for us, just some questions we're going to cover. Um, really just seeing how AppGen stacks up to the other tools out there, where we see the future of this. We'll look at styling, like how easy it is to really style the apps you generate, downsides it has, pricing, all of that good stuff. So we'll definitely dive into that a little later. We'll kind of wait to jump into anything too serious before we give people a chance to join. So we'll just kind of hang out for a sec and then we'll jump in and start building something.
Oh yeah. You cold?
I'm I'm in the basement, so I'm always wearing a hoodie because it's a little colder in our basement. But yeah, it's that time of year too.
Yep. Yep. I am also in the basement, and the thing is, it's warmer here than it is there, I assume. But the thing about America, man, you guys have such cheap energy. It's amazing. When I was in the States last time, I was outside what was it? What was this? Was it? It was an In-N-Out Burger, which I
Okay.
think is hot take. I don't know. You guys have In-N-Out in Utah?
Yeah, we do.
Overrated. They're good.
I think it's overrated.
Good burger, overrated. But dude, I walk outside onto the patio and it was a cold day and they're like blasting heat out
Right.
onto the patio.
True.
Energy is so expensive here that like you would not. I'm not even heating my. I'm gonna see how long I can go without even heating it down here because it's just.
Yeah, I mean, hence the jacket, right? You got
Oh yeah, no,
got like the
always, always.
down
You'll see
vest
my
on.
videos in the winter, dude. I have a beanie on. I have a hood on. What do you
Yeah.
call it? A beanie in the States, right?
Yeah, beanie.
Canadians call it a toque.
Oh yeah,
Isn't
I've
that
heard
weird?
that.
No,
I've heard
it's
that.
I'm not Canadian in that sense. I call it a beanie, but yeah, no, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love Utah.
Yeah. No, it's a good place. No, In and Out, totally agree. Good burger for the price, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's cheap and like pretty good, but like overrated in terms of like actual like taste and stuff.
yeah.
Especially the
Like
fries. The fries suck. Like,
the fries also the animal style fries are so. The thing is, if I just walked into an In and Out and I was like, "What's this place?" and I tried it, I would have probably been hyped. I was like, "Cheap burger, good burger, 10
yeah.
out of 10." But I walk in and I've heard for like everything.
Oh,
Everyone
true,
talks
true,
about
true.
it. And it's good, man. It's good. It's a burger. I don't know what to say. Raisin Cane's, on the other hand, not a burger. Raisin Cane's. I'm not even gonna
Really?
say what are your thoughts on Raisin Cane's.
I mean, I'd put it a little better than like In and Out, but I do think it suffers some of the same fate for me at least, where like it got super overhyped before I
Yeah.
tried it, and like it's good. I'm not complaining if I'm eating it, but I
Yeah.
won't say it's like the best chicken place I've ever had. Like it's
I
it's
was
not
shocked. You know what? I think the thing is here, I didn't really hear much about it. I didn't really hear much
okay.
about Raising Cane's, and then I tried it, and it blew my socks off. I'm like the fried chicken connoisseur. I make
Yeah.
it, I eat it, I love it. It's one of my favorite foods, and I'm very critical of it. And it
Okay.
was, it was perfect. So if it's not Raising Cane's, then what's the best chicken place you've been to?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I guess I'm not like a huge crazy chicken person, but like I don't really think it's much better than like Chick-fil-A, you know? Like I put it almost on the same tier as that.
Mm, Chick-fil-A is good. Chick-fil-A is good, but like I feel like Chick-fil-A, it's It's what I expect it to be. It's just like fried
Okay.
chicken. It was nothing that
Nothing
got
crazy.
me too excited. The service though was incredible.
Yeah.
That's the thing all around the States actually is like the service that you get. And this is one thing that I always talk about. So like I live in Europe. I love Europe, don't get me wrong. But like Europeans, they're like they have this weird superiority complex over Americans. Like, oh, we're Europeans. We do everything better, fancy, and this and that. No, no, no. Europe is cool in its own aspects, but the States, man, this was hilarious. Last time I went to the States, I think I went to like 5 or 6 fast food places and I shook hands with an employee in every single one of them.
Wow. That's crazy.
They're just so nice. I just talked to them. I'm like, you're a nice guy. Let me shake your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the state though. Like I think there's a lot of differences, based on state, based on the like type of place you go, but I'd say
Yeah.
overall, yeah, you're going to find pretty good service.
Oh yeah. I was in Colorado and Utah that time. So that was actually the only time I've been to. You guys call yourself the West, right? That's the West.
Yeah, that's the West.
It's not the West Coast, but it's the West. So
Right.
yeah, I loved it. I loved it,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, those are good places to visit. Lots of good like outdoor stuff and things like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Underrated. So underrated. I talked about this last time. Again, we don't want to spoil Utah for everyone, for the people
Yeah.
living there. Utah, don't go to Utah, guys.
Don't go to Utah.
Don't go to Utah.
Well,
sweet. What do we got going on here?
Let's jump into this. So, yeah, Webflow App Gen, for those of you who haven't heard, I think it just hit beta last week. I think 1 week ago. So we've had a chance to kind of try it out. Really, today we wanted to, show you guys some stuff. We'll build an app. I've got kind of we've got Thanksgiving coming up here in the States, and so we've got a fun Thanksgiving themed idea we'll build out. And then we'll really just kind of, as we build, there's going to be some gaps where, we're waiting for it to do stuff and follow the prompts. So we'll kind of fill in the gaps talking about, ins and outs of Webflow App Gen, pros, cons, all that good stuff. Julian over here, basically you'd say vibe coding expert, right?
I mean, it's kind of funny to call yourself a vibe coding expert, but if a vibe coding expert is a thing, yeah, I mean, I gotta be. I've been like, let's just say long before AI coding was a thing, I was coding with AI, as in like going to like GPT-3 and like asking it for a code snippet and then pasting it in Webflow, that kind of thing. So I was very early to the game.
You're like an OG. You could say you're an OG vibe coder.
There we go, OG vibe coder.
It's hard
to say expert. It's hard to quantify the skill that is vibe coding, but
that's true.
OG vibe coder. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so Julian, for those of you who don't know, works at MemberStack, does a lot of cool content. So definitely check him out. And he's definitely done more vibe coding than me. So really, he'll be sharing a lot of his experience, expertise with us today. Yeah, Julian, do you want to just let's do kind of some intros first and then we'll dive in.
Yeah, for sure. So like I have been a Webflow developer for, I don't even know how long now. I want to say in 2018 is when I started using Webflow, and I did, a whole bunch of things. I worked with a whole bunch of different clients, and then eventually I started working at MemberStack and also doing Webflow stuff. That being said, we're trying to help people build web apps, trying to help people build interactive subscription-based apps on the internet. And so once vibe coding started to become a thing, I started really getting into it. That being said, because of my Webflow background, I have a lot of issues with vibe coding that aren't issues with Webflow. And I have a lot of issues with Webflow that are not issues with vibe coding. And so App Gen, let's just say it sits perfectly on my intersection.
Yeah.
Very excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, really happy to have you here with us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Bradford, work at Amply here, recently transitioned from really being the head of development here at Amply to head of growth. So really I'm just over marketing now and really excited to do more content like this, share more stuff with you guys. So yeah, that's me. So let's jump in. Here's kind of, for those of you who just joined, here's kind of what we're going to be looking at today as far as an agenda. Going to be trying to answer these questions, but kind of first thing, let's just jump in there, check out App Gen, and let's build an app together. So let me share my screen here. Excellent. And take over.
And you said you've gotten a chance to try out App Gen.
Yeah, I've probably spent I don't know, maybe 3 hours in it, just trying to build various things. And I wouldn't say like I've got a deep understanding of it and like its limitations, but like I've definitely seen some of the things it's maybe better at, worse at, had some challenges. So, well, little bit of experience basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't spent too. I mean, it's only been out for like what I think a week today, right? So I've spent, I want to say maybe like 7 or 8 hours in total in it, just kind of exploring. So I'm not, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, and I don't think you can be an expert in app gen at this point in time, but
Yeah.
like I've gotten a good chance to see what's good, what's bad. And one thing I want to say for anyone watching this is like it's in beta. AppGen is in beta. It's brand new. There are
Mhm.
going to be problems. Like I feel like I heard some people who tried it out and they're like, "Oh, well, I did this and it broke something. It sucks." It's beta. It's brand new.
Right.
I'm excited for it to be like production perfect, very much so. But at this point, we got to look at it from the lens of like this is something that Webflow is interested in that they're pushing out to see how interested we are in it. So we need to treat it that way. And yeah, okay, I see you got a turkey bowl logo going on here.
Yeah. So let me give it kind of background of this. So in the States, we got Thanksgiving coming up in about a week. So for my family and a lot of people here, we always do like a, we call it a turkey bowl, but it's a football game you do, with your family on, the morning before Thanksgiving. Usually you get together, have a bunch of your family, cousins, friends, whatever, come out and play a couple games of flag football. Something for my family, we're pretty competitive, but it's always a challenge just making the teams. You can do the kind of like captain method where you have two captains and you pick everybody, but I always feel like we end up getting kind of the same teams, and then like after a game or two we want to switch it up, and there's just not it's kind of a pain to do that. So when this came around, I was like, I had the idea of like, I want to create something that I can input all of my family members in and it can just spit out teams for me. And I can kind of add their like each family member's kind of skills in there, and basically the algorithm can generate the most fair teams possible. And whenever I want to switch up teams, I can just click a button, remix the teams, have a new set of teams ready to go, and so it kind of solves that problem. So just kind of a fun holiday themed idea that I thought we could try out. And
Excellent.
it'll show us kind of some of the ins and outs here. So I've done some work already, kind of just thinking through this idea, working with Chat GPT to get kind of the algorithm that I wanted and everything. So I've got a prompt ready to go here that I won't make you guys watch me type out, but this will give it some context for how I want this thing to function. So I'm just going to copy this and we'll use this to start the app. So with AppGen, basically for those of you who are new to it, to enable the beta, let me actually go back out here. So you're going to want to go into your Webflow workspace, and then I believe it's in, man, I'm forgetting now. I think basically there's somewhere in your workspace settings. Oh yeah, right here. So you go to your workspace settings, general, and then you're going to want to turn on Webflow AI. That's going to allow you to be part of this beta and see kind of AppGen pop up. So if you're not seeing it or any of the new like AI features they're releasing, you need to go to your workspace settings and enable it. But once you're there, you can jump out and open any new blank site or anything like that to get started. I'll just create a brand new site here. We're going to call this, my turkey bowl drafter. And we will jump into AppGen. So
Let's go. Now, I know you have that prompt. Does the prompt explain like exactly what you're trying to build? Is it like build this app that does this?
yeah, so like we'll just take a look at it real quick. I want an app that generates teams for Turkey Bowl, for football over Thanksgiving. This basically kind of shares like what the user should be able to do, kind of the features it needs to have. I need to be able to add, edit, and delete players. It needs to be able to remix teams, and then I give it the most important thing here is I give it like the rating. So there's like 4 ratings each player is given, and like I've given weights to those ratings to basically prioritize. That's how it kind of like generates a score for a player and balances the teams. So like I've done all of that work, really was just using Chat GPT and kind of like iterating there on just like the logic I wanted. And that's kind of what's gone into this prompt. So
Okay. I would recommend, maybe not for this video, I'd say just go ahead and paste in this prompt because we're testing, and one thing that's
mhm,
good is to just see how much it can do at once.
yeah,
But for anyone watching this and for you, anytime you're vibe coding something, the best thing to do I find is called chunking, and that's like
okay,
keep it very simple and split UI and functionality into separate things. So like even using this prompt, I would send it and I'd be like, just do the UI, and then we'll get to functionality after the fact, just because sometimes I find if it's trying to do too much at once, it just
okay,
like it can't do anything right, you know. But for
right.
testing, let's go ahead and use this.
Yeah, let's use it. But that's really good feedback for everybody out there, breaking it down into smaller chunks.
Oh yeah.
So once we're here, you're going to go up here to App Gen, click on that, and then you'll get this kind of thing here. So we'll paste in my prompt. Something I wish we could have just right off the bat. So you've got this plus button here. You can link CMS collections and components. So that's kind of a way you can bring in, a CMS collection of data you wanted to use, or you can kind of link components. I wish we just had like an image feature here, because I'd love to just be
Oh
able
yeah.
to like drop in an image and be like, hey, use this image as inspo for like my color scheme and UI here. But anyway,
Yep.
we'll run this.
I
So
agree.
probably going to take a sec.
That's all good. But yeah, no, dragging in images is one of the main things that I just feel like is missing right now. Some things
Mhm.
are like, maybe could be debated. Maybe they didn't add that for a reason. Whereas like dragging in images for context just feels like something that there needs to be at some point in time. That's something that I use every single day. So like the thing is, me looking at App Gen, I use Claude Code every single day. Like not even every working day, like every day pretty much I'm using
Yeah.
Claude Code in one way or another. And Claude Code is the best agentic coder out there right now. I mean, I'm sure some people would disagree with that, but most like that is what most engineers are actually using.
Mhm.
Um, and that is one feature that like without that, I feel lost. You know, you have to describe something. Like sometimes I'll just take a screenshot and be like, this looks bad, look at it. And it's obvious. Whereas without being able to drag in an image, it's like you kind of have to describe it, which I don't know. I'm getting lazier day by day, so I don't want to describe anything.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, like I feel like images are just such a good way to provide context. Like, hey, this isn't working, or hey, I found this thing, I want it to match that.
Yeah.
So, because and
No.
I think like you can kind of use the components as a workaround, because you can create a component and like, have some UI in there, and then it will use that as context. But it's kind of a roundabout way a lot of times for what I'd want to do.
Oh yeah, no. Like image uploads are necessary, but you just mentioned components, and that's another thing that I want to mention here is like comparing. Oh, actually, I'm going to stop talking because we
Okay,
have something.
we got
Let's
something, it looks like. All right, so kind of first preview of here. It does give you a preview, which I really like. So we can kind of interact with it and see how it's working. So basically, yeah, so I've got this,
Where to get that
and
font from?
I don't know. It looks like it's just like maybe the default. Like this is a blank Webflow project. So anyway,
Yeah. All right,
so
let's see what it
gonna kick
does
off the
before we
app
complain
player.
about
So,
fonts.
add myself in there. We'll give myself, better than average QB skill, tore my
You have 10
ACL.
everything. 10 everything. You're the best. You're the
Now
best Thanksgiving football player there ever was.
I'm recovering from an ACL tear. So I'm like, I'm not there yet, Julian.
Okay. All right.
I'm down to
Maybe
like 3 on athleticism, maybe like 6 on coordination. Football IQ though, I'm a 10 there. So
okay.
we'll take
Okay.
that.
I do not understand how American football works. Like I
Really?
don't know the rules. I don't know
Oh
anything.
man.
I don't know how to play. I don't know anything.
Dude, you're missing out. Anyone out there who hasn't, followed or played like American football, it's such a good game. One of the best games ever.
One thing that I will say though about all American sports, when I say all American sports, I'm thinking basically football and baseball. I think those are like
Mhm.
the American sports.
Right.
They're so complicated, man. There's so many like rules and things going on, and I'm sure they're great ones. I mean, baseball, I understand.
Yeah.
Baseball's a good sport.
All right. Let's just add a few more test players here.
All right. You can add me. Yeah. Oh, you
Added
gave
you.
me way too high skills, man. Again, I know nothing about it. I'm like a straight up.
We got to put your IQ
All
at
right,
0.
quarterback skills. I don't know what that is, so I'm 0. I
Throwing the
have
ball,
0 quarterback skills.
0.
Athleticism. Is this just straight up fitness
So,
level?
so my thought with this is like athleticism is just like how like jumping, running, just like being fast, and then like coordination is like can you catch a ball? Can you catch a ball? Can you like kind of use your hands to make a play?
All right. Coordination, give me a good score. Athleticism, like low mid, like 4, maybe.
4.
I
Okay,
don't know. Depends on who we're comparing to. So, all
right,
right, I'm happy with my card now.
cool. So we'd add like a lot more, but let's just see if the generate teams feature works. Honestly, this looks all right. So it's given us kind of, total score pretty similar. Looks like you and I are on the same team, or 2 tests are there, and then we can remix this. We probably don't have, let's add a few more to see if this is like
Oh,
need
nice.
some more variations. So,
Now, one thing I like about App Gen that I noticed that I was super shocked by is that it uses ShadCN right out of the box.
oh,
You like
interesting.
how familiar are you with ShadCN?
Just a little bit. Like I know our product team uses it for the apps we build, and
Yeah.
like it's kind of nice because they'll send me a link of where I can kind of just like customize the UI, and
Yeah.
then they can just like easily import that, which is really cool. But I'm not like really that familiar with it.
Okay. It basically, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why it's good, but specifically for vibe coding, just because LLMs are going to make what LLMs want to make. And sometimes LLMs do not make the prettiest stuff. I mean, we've got some very, very bad fonts over here. But, anyways, ShadCN is like, okay, for example, Reloom AI is really good because Reloom AI uses a bunch of human generated UI, like human built UI to build
Right.
out the site. Same thing with ShadCN. It's a bunch of very nice, unopinionated components. And so
Mhm.
when an LLM is trying to build something with it, an LLM knows, okay, I'm going to put a card here, I'm going to put a toggle here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to
Right.
do that. But it uses these beautiful pre-designed components for you. And so specifically for vibe coding, ShadCN is like amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool.
So
All
it's good
right.
they have it out of
So
the box.
I think this is somewhat working, but the remix button isn't working. We should be getting different teams every time when we're clicking that, but we're not. So yeah, let's just tell it that and see if it can fix that.
Let it know about that treacherous font as well.
Yeah, we'll do
That
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 too.
needs to go. That needs to go. And something else that we should definitely try. You just continue writing out your prompt. I'm talking to everyone here. Is the component side of things. The component side of things is really big, and that's what's so great about AppGen. So let's go ahead and tweak this, make it work, and then we'll try some components.
Cool.
So I guess in that case, right off the bat, you using it, what are your thoughts? I always like to end on a good note. So what are the negative things you're feeling right now?
So okay, so I would say my negatives are in I would say like probably the biggest ones. I mean, like, I think this is wishful thinking, but like a perfect world here would be that like I could go to that preview mode and just, pretty much have this be Webflow native elements, right? Like
Yeah.
I would love to just be able to, click on this, update the font myself, right? I get that that's pretty hard to do. So like I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but it would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
I would say kind of my other negatives would be I don't think it's necessarily as good as other tools yet in terms of like kind of fixing itself. So like I've run the same tests on Lovable and Replit, and I was doing this test on the same app, on Webflow App Gen, and like something that happened to me, and I don't know if this is just random one time, but it basically built the thing, and it was going great, and I asked for like one more feature, and then like it completely just like every the main functionality except for the homepage just went blank. Like anytime
Same.
I click a button, and I like kept asking it to fix itself, and it like wasn't fixing it. And like I didn't spend a ton of time like going past that, but it's always frustrating when you're vibe coding and you get an experience like that where it's like you've gotten this awesome result, you're going editing it, making it good. And then all of a sudden, like it does something that's totally unrelated and it breaks something else. It's like
Yep.
super frustrating. So like, I don't know if that was a one-time thing. So far, I haven't had that happen again, but it's frustrating when you have that happen. So,
I agree.
and it's in beta. So like, I'm not like faulting Webflow at all there, but just calling that out.
Yeah.
So, okay, looks like it fixed the remix teams. We're getting different ones here. Let's test out some of the other features. Can we edit? Looks like we can. Can we delete? Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like it got the main feature set there. Let's deploy it just so you guys can see how that works too, because I think that is a cool thing that Webflow's done. So if you go up here, it's just like the publish button. You can click deploy. It does take a minute. Like it's definitely nowhere near as fast as like publishing your Webflow site. But I do love that it does give you like an actual staging link that you can share around, which you don't always get with like these other vibe coding tools. And I don't know if that's always gonna, like right now it's in beta, so I think you get that free. But like just for me, like I actually genuinely will use this with my family for Thanksgiving. I want this to be something I could share with people and just share a link. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, and they could actually use it and try it out. So that's something that's nice.
Yeah, I agree. And it definitely does take a while. As for the things that you were talking about on the negative side of things, like first of all, I got the exact same problem. I was doing a test in another video and it just straight up, I don't know what happened. It just all went white and I tried like 4 times to get it to fix itself. It couldn't.
Yeah.
Webflow team, if you're watching that, probably something to look into. What was the other thing you said? There was something that I have thoughts on.
Editing, like being able to edit with the UI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when it comes to the bugs and those things that you were noticing, I agree 100%. When I see those, I'm like, okay, this is in beta. Am I going to use it right now for production projects? No. And that doesn't worry me because I know those things are going to get fixed in the beta. Now, the thing about App Gen that I just feel like Webflow, so Webflow is I mean, their last valuation was in 2022, I think, at like 4+ billion. So now they're
Yeah.
probably like 6-7 billion, my guess. I'm no, finance expert. So they've got some budget. And the thing is, Webflow is in the perfect position to release that vibe coding tool with visual editing built in, exactly as you described. That is the exact same thing that I feel. It feels like such a missed opportunity that you can't do that. Now, I know you can get that with the components, and it is a big upgrade, but like, I just feel like that is something that, and I'm well aware of how technically challenging that would be to do. Feel free to test this out while I'm talking, by the way. So yeah, I know how hard that would be for the Webflow team to build. But like, I feel like if anyone has the budget, the reason, the capabilities, and the target audience waiting for such a tool, it's Webflow. So I really hope Webflow does actually add that in, because that would be huge. Like if they do that and they execute it well, that is, in my opinion, going to be the best vibe coding tool out there for building production projects. So
Yeah.
definitely big. It's in beta. I hope they're watching this and I hope they agree with me because I think that's huge.
I think that's the opportunity there, because I mean Webflow really has built like the visual interface to really like visually edit complex things, and like we've seen that with the websites, and it's like, can we just get that on the app side as well? That's where I think it's a huge opportunity for them. So I'm going to add a couple more features here just for fun to see how this does. Something I want is the ability to upload a CSV. I don't even know if someone would want this if I were to ship this app, but like I just want it because like since I've done this a couple times, I've got a CSV of like my family, teams. And so I want to just upload that instead of having to manual upload. So let's just see if it can get it. So
you know what else you should do? Ask it to do a more Thanksgiving, fall type color scheme.
yes.
I feel like blue, white, and red. It's American.
No, we gotta
get Thanksgiving color scheme would be nice.
This UI is horrible right now.
It's I've seen worse, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I wonder if you can use Tweak CN with it. You know what Tweak CN is? It kind of sounded like you did based on
that's what my team has shared with me.
Exactly. Tweak CN is awesome. I wonder if you could just send it. Maybe don't let it know about the color scheme if you haven't already. I
Yeah.
could try to get some sort of tweaksy end theme going for you.
Okay, we'll do the CSV prompt and then we'll work on styling next.
Excellent, excellent. I'm trying now to, I think I have to log in first, and then I can have it like build. Elegant luxury, northern lights, solar dust. So many options, so many options. What do I want? I feel like this one's good. This one's good. Also, it's using Tailwind V4. So what I would do is, actually, I'll send you. You can go to Tweaksy. I don't even know how to send you a thing in the chat on this.
I think
There's
you
like,
can
I
just
think
put
it's
it
a
in
sector.
do you see the chat window on the side of our thing? Like,
Yep, there we go. There we go.
yeah,
Okay.
just paste it in there and people can see that link as well.
Actually, oh yeah, no, I just sent it in the private chat. I'll send
Oh,
it in
that
the
works.
everyone chat.
That works too. All right.
No, I actually can't send a message in that one. The theme isn't open, but if you open the list of themes, it's the second one, Amber Minimal. I feel like that's generally, it's a bit, there's orange in it. I don't know, there's orange. That's probably what I'm thinking.
Let's see. One sec.
This is a nice
Okay,
theme.
so
This looks like Miyagi
this is
kind
what we
of.
use for Miyagi, actually. So that's why you're
There you
seeing
go.
all of that. I think it's saved cooking me or something. So where do I go? Themes?
Right there where it says custom unsaved.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
Amber Minimal is the second one.
Oh, I
I
like
would send that in. This is like dark mode, but that's fine. And then up in the top right where it says code, yeah, click that. And then what I do is I copy that right there, what you're about to copy, and then I send that. There's a command that you can run, but I find just pasting that in and being like, use this tweak CN theme, it always does a good job. So I would go for that. CSV, nice. Okay. We don't have a CSV though, so I don't know if we can really.
I've got one actually.
Ah, look at you. All right,
Yeah.
you're ready. It's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good, I will say.
Yeah, this is a solid beta for sure.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Again, it is in beta. Like the first test I did, the first time I tried it, blew my socks off. Second time I tried it, literally did not work, period. Third time I tried it, really good, and I feel like I got to know it a little bit more, and I got to understand the good and the bad. And so on that topic of good, like this, it's an all-in-one tool. So you don't actually, sorry. Before I get into the good, one more thing that I have to say that is either bad or I don't know, version control. Like what I do when it comes to when I usually vibe code with Claude Code, everything I do is push to GitHub. And then I'm not scared to do it because anytime it breaks my app, which happens, I'm like, revert to the last time I pushed to GitHub. I don't know how version control works on this.
I don't think there's much, to be honest. Like, there's definitely not anything in the UI right now. Like, and I would love that to just be able to say, go back, go back to that prompt before I sent this prompt when you broke the app, which is something that can get really frustrating. Okay, so I'm kind of disappointed styling wise here. Like, we've got some orange buttons. It basically added the orange in, which is okay, but there's not a whole lot different. Something I tried that did work is like you can give it a website you want this to follow, and like it'll kind of change it more based on that. So we'll say like what's like a good, maybe like DraftKings or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like a dark theme is definitely
I think we want dark theme. Maybe I'll just say like ESPN.com with like a dark theme and see what we get there.
Yeah. Also, maybe some like, this sounds ridiculous, but like sportsy fonts.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, I feel like it could use some of those. I'm going to pop open actually Google Fonts and see if I can find anything.
Okay, let's see what that. We said change the UI, make it look more like ESPN.com, but have more of a dark theme and a sports-related font. So let's see what it gets from that.
Let's see what it thinks a sports-related font is. Sometimes when I'm doing these vibe coding videos, Someone will be like, well, obviously it didn't do it. You didn't get like, what is a sportsy font? Like, I know that's the fun of it. I'm trying to see what it can do. Like, if you're actually seriously trying to make it do something that you want it to do, don't do it. Find the font and tell it the font that you want it to add. Don't say sportsy font. But when you're just testing, say sportsy font. Because what if it works?
Yeah.
I have not. Oh, my mouse died. Wonderful. That's okay. I can use a trackpad. I wonder what its idea of a sportsy font is going to be. Gotta find some like old blobby.
I'm thinking like something like blocky, you know, like
Debus New, that one. I don't know how to pronounce that font, but everybody knows that font.
I actually don't. What is?
Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
I'll know when I see it.
Oh, I said that terribly. BEBAS. NEUE. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, that's like a super common.
That's like sportsy for sure.
I agree. What if I search up ESPN broadcast? ESPN broadcast. Not broadcasters. I don't need to see them. I need to see the broadcast so I can see what kind of fonts we want. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like at least for the headers.
Yeah.
So it's still working. It's still working hard over here. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about App Gen because of the potential for production projects when it comes to designing in Webflow and then bringing it into your app. So right now, like I work for MemberStack, I don't work for clients, but I do know people who are vibe coding for clients. And that's all well and good for the clients who are aware of vibe coding. They know that they're basically getting an MVP. It's not going to be everything pixel perfect and all that. But like the flow that we follow as Webflow developers is like either our designers or our client or someone sends us a Figma file. And then we take that Figma file, translate it into Webflow. And at the end of the day, it has to be pixel perfect.
Yeah.
And the thing with App Gen is that it introduces that possibility for you. So right now, you could go and make a component on your Webflow site and then just tell it to bring it in. I've tested this. It will stay synced. So that is what is really cool. And on the topic of adoption, I have noticed that, wait, hold on. Before I continue, this looks a lot better. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but like for this use case,
there's some accessibility problems here, but
totally.
But this is a lot more like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. You know, like the first one very much just like feels like a very much MVP. This is kind of nice though. Like I like the orange, the black. This is cool. On that topic though, what you're getting at with components, let's preview that a little bit. I did create a component here, just like a nav bar, kind of use like AI. Oh, it's in another.
Yeah, I was just thinking project. You made a new site. That's why. That's anything. As long as we can prove that.
Let me. It'll take like 2 seconds. Let me throw it in. So we'll do. We'll add like a nav bar layout. We'll just
literally here. Just a nav bar layout. Turn it into a component.
Yeah.
And then you can bring it in.
And then let me bring in this logo. I like auto-generated this logo. I think it's actually pretty sweet.
That's a sweet logo.
Except what's going on here? That's
just way too tall.
Yeah, we'll throw a background color here to match. And we'll just get rid of these nav links. All right, that'll do. So let's create this as a component, and then we'll ship this into the app.
Excellent, excellent. And I don't know, the only way that I've done this is just through prompting. Like now I would go into App Gen and be like, bring my navbar component into here. I don't know
Hmm.
if there's a way for you to kind of do that. But one thing that I'm seeing is Webflow developers are not adopting vibe coding nearly as fast as I thought they would. And my hypothesis behind that is because we as Webflow developers, we are used to pixel perfect. We are used to, I know what I want to do and I know
Yep.
how to do it in that exact way. And so vibe coding, it just feels like a toy. Where
Yeah.
Webflow, I feel like they have such a good opportunity to actually make it that, in which case I think everyone would adopt it. So really, as for the adoption of AppGen, what I see for the future is heavily dependent on what Webflow does with it.
Yeah. I agree. I think that is a big reason a lot of Webflow devs, including myself, haven't jumped on it as fast. Is just because it just feels like, yeah, you don't have that full control to be able to, make something perfect. I think we are more obsessed with, pixel perfect, get it exactly how I want, because that's something that Webflow provides us.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see how they change it. So let's try what you're saying and bring that component in. So they do have this plus button where you can link components. So we'll link it here and then just say bring this navbar component in at the top of each page. Let's see what that does.
I mean, I guess there's only one page right now, right?
Yeah, I guess like multiple screens though, I think.
Hey, technically, every page, there's one page. That means one
Yeah,
page.
it'll cover it.
Oh, yeah. No, this is looking pretty good to me. Definitely, it looks a lot more in line with what I would assume this kind of thing would look like. You know what I think I just noticed? There's no, you know how there's like a breakpoint switcher in the designer? I don't think there's a breakpoint switcher here.
There's not. I think you've really just got to open it up and like preview it.
Yeah, that's I this is the first time I've noticed that, and
Yeah.
that seems maybe like an oversight to me. Obviously, I know it's not the same as the designer breakpoint where it's actually changing what you're doing in the CSS, but like just a preview breakpoint selector, I feel
Yeah.
like would be would be very cool.
And that's something like I think going back to kind of you asked me earlier, like what do I like, what do I not like here with AppGen? A couple of things I just noticed as we're doing this. Something that I don't love is that like you're really in a fully different screen here. And it was pretty quick, but there's been times like switching from design to app gen mode is kind of slow.
It
Like
is.
like there's times I've waited like 20, 30 seconds to get back into app gen. So if you're doing something like I did where it's like, okay, I want to go edit a component and then sync it in, it's not like a smooth, quick back and forth,
Yeah.
which is a little frustrating. A couple other things we can check out here is like they do have the variable panel, but I'm a little like confused, at least in this case. Like, there's so many variables here. Like, do these just get auto generated for every app? Or because like I'm not using all this blue stuff. Like, I'm trying
I
to
don't
see.
know. Where did this come from? Is that red like what it's using?
Right.
It
Like, I
looks
don't see where
similar.
my orange is, unless it's this.
Yeah, is that orange or red? I'm colorblind, by the way, so I'll
It's
trust
like a
you.
reddish, it looks like. But like, if I
Yeah.
change that to blue, okay, it's saying sync your
What?
styles. I'm just not sure like how the variables interact with this, honestly.
Mm,
Um,
I mean,
like
it can
what
use variables. That I know. It can use variables. But
Let me
I
try
also
changing the
don't.
radius because that should impact a lot of stuff. So I guess like, is this supposed to be auto synced or is this like
Well, one thing that I would say is we don't really know right now if it's even using your variables.
right?
Like
That's
it
true.
can. We know it can, but is it? I don't know. So like if you said use my
Right.
radius variable for the corner radius, then I'm assuming it would. But right now, maybe it just isn't because that is
Yeah,
not our.
that's true. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's something I have to figure out.
Yeah, but
Updating variable
basically,
also updates your app's webflow.css file. I wonder if it's like just something you can only see when you like redeploy though.
that would be a
I,
problem if so.
that would be a bummer. Like,
That would definitely be a bummer. Yeah, definitely Webflow. I hope someone from Webflow is watching this. Take the chance you got, because this is something that will, one, bring Webflow developers into vibe coding, and
Mhm.
two, it'll bring people who are, let's say, more professional with what they're doing towards Webflow specifically for App Gen, because they have that power. I did a test last week of
Mhm.
every single, including Webflow App Gen, of every single web-based vibe coding tool, and not a single one of them has a good visual editor. V0 is okay. V0's is pretty good. And there's something
Mhm.
else called builder.io. And it's actually funny because I don't know if you remember seeing these headlines from a while back. There was a company that was like
Yeah,
saying
they
things.
did the
There's a bunch of Indian guys that were just
yeah,
doing
I've
the
heard
work. Not,
that.
yeah. So, anyways, builder.io, I thought it was going to be garbage because all I knew about it was from those headlines. It was okay. They had a good visual editor. They
Okay,
had the best visual editor of all of
interesting.
the tools that I had used. And the way that they did it, which is interesting to me, is so you know how in Webflow, for example, you are directly changing the CSS. So in Builder, in their visual editing tool, it's like you switch to design mode, and then there's this tab where you can make tweaks, and it's basically like changing a Figma file. Then when you
Interesting.
click accept changes, the AI looks at that. You only change the design, like it's not the actual project yet. It's just like a mock-up. Then
Yeah.
it gives that mock-up to the AI, which then implements those design changes, which I thought was interesting because, like, here's the thing from a technical standpoint. Let's say this is using Tailwind. That is a bunch of different utility classes. How would Webflow, like a Webflow style visual editor, work in such a like structure? I don't
Mhm.
really know. So that could be a way for Webflow to implement a similar feature. I'm
Yeah.
not sure because technically that one is difficult. I understand why they don't have it. I just hope they do add it.
Yeah, I agree. That is a cool idea though. Like, and that's I think something like I'm okay with in this kind of stuff. I'm okay with it not being a full, live sync like at the end of the day, what we all want is pixel perfection. Like I want to be able to create something, get it into the app and have it look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And if that means I do all the changes first and then I click sync and I have to wait 10 minutes, as long as it gets it, as long as those do match in the end, that's
Yeah.
fine. So,
Exactly. As long as it's quick, or sorry, no, not as long as it's quick. As long as it's accurate, it doesn't have to be quick. That's the
yeah,
thing. Because
that's
if
true.
it's slow, that's okay. But for example, we were talking before the stream about Replit a little bit, and
Mhm.
when I was testing Replit, my friend's like, it's too slow. It was slow, but it did it right. And so you could, in
Yeah.
theory, like start it, go have a coffee, come back, and it's good. If you have to do that and then it does a bad job and then you tell it to tweak something and then it takes another 10 minutes, then it's a problem. So if it's fast, it can be a little bit bad. And if it's slow, it has to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking so long on this component thing. I don't know if it's like I prompted something wrong, but it seems to be some sort of bug. Um,
It might be because this is, I don't know
is
what's
like,
going on over
yeah,
here. It's doing a lot. That's something else that I noticed when I was testing it is sometimes it would literally run in circles. Like I asked it to do something with code components and it just straight up like it was something it couldn't do. I was trying to test to
yeah,
see if it could do it. Basically, if it could turn something into a code component and then bring it into my Webflow project so I can bring it in there. I think it spent like 10 minutes just running on and on and on, only to be like, wait, no, I can't do that. Did we get the
you might have got.
infamous?
So I have got this one time. Let's deploy this and see. I got this one time where like it did a change in the previous blank, but I deployed it and it was like fine.
I think we may
So
be onto something because I'm pretty sure when I was getting this error, it was exact. Yes, it was. It was when I said bring this component in. When I said
yeah.
bring my Webflow component into my app, that's when I got this error. So build failed.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
Um, well, we may have just solved a bug for the Webflow team because, yeah, you've already had this. I've had this while testing. We're now
Yeah.
having it again.
Yeah, if you guys have tried it and have this, let us know. But Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Let's see. We'll try it again. While we're working on this, let me just show you. So you guys, let's kind of talk comparison with Webflow App Gen to other tools. So I did the same test just so you can see. We've been talking about this turkey bowl generator thing. I tried Lovable and I tried Replit. Those are the two I've tried so far. Same kind of prompt. I did kind of tweak like functionality as I did it. That is something I love about vibe coding is it's such a good way just to like validate an idea. Like
Yeah.
compared to like mocking something up in Figma, like when I first had this idea, I didn't even know how I wanted it to function. And just messing around in here, that's kind of like I kind of started realizing, oh, I kind of want this UI. I don't want this. I don't want these ratings. These are kind of dumb. These ones work better. So just great way to like iterate through ideas if you're like a visual thinker like myself. Okay.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
figure
Oh
out
yeah.
where to get to my thing. Oh, it's
We
right here.
actually have on our team Molly. She manages all the content and everything, and she's non-technical. I mean, she knows how to use our product and all that just because she's been working with MemberStack for so long, longer than I have. But since vibe coding has come around, like now, if she before she'd have an idea for something we should do on the website, on the app, or whatever, and she just kind of describe it, but she didn't really know how to properly describe it to technical people because she's a non-technical person.
Right.
And with vibe coding now, for example, we were like talking about her onboarding and how it's not good. She had these ideas. So she went into Lovable and made a mock-up for exactly what she wanted to see in the app, passes it off to the designer on our team who made it like beautiful, then
Yeah.
straight to the developer. So vibe coding is a prototyping tool. Even if you're not sold on vibe coding for production apps, which
Right.
you should be sold on it because it's amazing still, but prototyping amazing. So let's see what you got here in Lovable.
Yeah, so I think Lovable did pretty good. I ran out of credits on my free plan, so I couldn't like tweak more.
Yeah.
UI, I've noticed with Lovable, the UI you get out of the box is usually kind of like this. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm sure I could prompt it, the same way I did with the Webflow one and tweak it. But overall, like the thing with Lovable that I did like is it just worked. I didn't have any weird bugs. Like things just worked after, you know, prompting and adding features and stuff. This one I did a little different. Like I made it possible to like edit the weights of all these categories, add a few
That's
more
cool.
categories that I ended up trimming down. But yeah, I think this is just a great way. You can just have an idea, get it there, mess around with it and be like, yeah, this is, I kind of cut the categories and like reduce two of them that were kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
But this is what Lovable came up with. I thought it was pretty solid, honestly. And then Replit design wise, I think was the best. Let me
Yeah,
log in
Replit gave
here.
me also when I was testing. I haven't used Replit extensively, but I have tested it and it was good. It was refined. Replit is very good at giving you something refined and not just like whatever it wants to spit out, you know?
That's what I felt too. Like it felt like it gave me the most polished first draft,
Yeah. But
Um,
there's one more thing that we can do. First, let's check out Replit, and then you have that prompt. And Gemini 3 came out today, and I really
dude,
think,
let's try it.
yeah, yeah, it's
So
really good, man.
this one just like looks clean, like this looks like a modern app UI to me.
Yeah,
It's not got a bunch of weird gradients around. It has a nice modal for me to add. I had some different prompts like height and age and everything here. But same functionality. Just looks like this looks clean.
it
Like
does.
comparing it to the Webflow and Lovable, they look a little janky. But like this looks like way more modern and just like something I would want to ship. You
Yeah,
know. And then you can generate teams. Maybe this did have a bug. I don't know. I'm not seeing like the teams come up. The thing like I did like about Lovable and Webflow uh, compared to Replit is like with Replit, like you do have to like have a paid plan to like even
yeah,
get a preview link out of it. So this was really all I could get. I couldn't deploy it and test it there.
yeah,
But like overall, just like the kind of output I got was probably the best on Replit, even though it's a little slower. But Yeah, let's go to
Yeah.
Gemini 3.
AIstudio.google.com. That's because if you search up Gemini, there's like a bazillion different
Right.
things. So
So aistudio.google.com. Okay, sweet.
boom, boom.
Um,
This is not like, it's not like AI Studio just came out today, but, and then click build in the left sidebar.
Sweet.
There you
Build.
go. Paste in your prompt
Okay.
and let it rip.
Let's see. I mean, I've been seeing Gemini 3 all over the place. Like,
Yeah,
this thing
it,
sounds super good.
it is.
Let's see if it lives up to the hype.
I still like at least this. Gemini 3 as a model is
Mhm.
phenomenal. This platform, very, very cool. I'm so used to my current stack and process with Claude Code that like I did a test with this today to see if it can replace Claude Code. And no for me, but as for like web-based vibe coding tools, Gemini 3 has been the like best.
Yeah,
For UI, it has absolutely been the best. I've done like 3 or 4
really.
tests. Every single time it gives me a nice looking, polished UI right out of the watch it give you like the ugliest thing we've ever
Wow.
seen.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
No, this is cool. Like, I didn't even realize they had this whole AI Studio thing, which is basically just like, yeah, like a vibe coding interface.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know about this before today either. I
Is
think
that
it's
like
been around
just
before.
released, or has this been around for a while?
I don't know. Today is the first day I've ever used it, so I have no idea. I think I've used the AI Studio for like other stuff, like I went there to get like my API keys when I was doing a test with Nano Banana, like building an AI photo editor app. Which, by the way, in the cool thing about this is that it has access to like your Google account, your Google API keys. So usually, let's say you want to vibe code something that uses
Oh,
AI, you have to
true.
get the API keys, you have to
Yeah,
integrate them yourself. This can just do it for you.
dude, that's actually huge because there's so
It
much
is.
stuff where it's like you want to use some sort of Google API in it, and then it's like you're going down that rabbit hole and trying to find it and set it up correctly. And
Yeah.
so
Okay, so let's see what we're left with here.
this isn't bad, like probably right up there with Replit of just like good looking UI.
Yeah, I like the
Um,
logo. Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico, that's hilarious.
Yeah, mine also. It was very opinionated, which I liked. Like for example, I was trying to do I was like, give me something that uses Nano Banana to remove the background from an image, and it like named itself like banana peel, as in like Nano Banana, and it's like peeling the background layer off, and it like did the whole like branding and everything on itself. Like, look at this, the Cranberry Crushers
Yeah, this is
carved.
crazy. I don't even think I asked for this, but it
Nope.
created this whole feature where you can roast the teams. Like that's just fun.
Look at
Gave
that
me
versus
automatic
thing.
team ideas.
This is good, eh?
This is the best, honestly. Like
Yeah.
in this UI is nice. You got this like vertical versus thing here. This is
Yeah,
this is really good.
it
Like
is.
it just feels like this is going like above and beyond. Whereas like a lot of times with these other tools, it's like you're having to beg it to like do the thing you want it to do. Um,
It's like employees, sometimes you have that employee where it's like
right,
you just feel like you gotta like say every little no, don't do that, no, do this, no, do this, do a better job at this, focus on this more, have a better eye
right,
for detail, all this stuff. And then the one where you're like, make me an app, and they just like come back with this sick thing that's all documented. That's
right.
how Gemini feels to me right now.
That's so funny. I love that.
I know the gravy grinders will the turkey troopers thin across the field. That's awesome. And so one thing as well, I guess we're probably coming to the end here. And like
Yeah.
Webflow App Gen, it uses Claude as I'm assuming it uses like Sonnet 4.5,
Mhm.
um, which is my favorite. So wonderful. That being said, another thing that I'd like to see is a model picker similar to you've used Cursor, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
exactly.
would love to see that just because I use Claude Code. Claude Code is great and all that stuff, but Claude Code only uses Claude models, understandably. One of the benefits of something like Cursor, which is model agnostic, is that you can just decide which model you want to use today. Like if Gemini 3 comes out and it's better than Claude 4.5, you can just do that. And I'm assuming Webflow doesn't have any sort of like partnership with these
Right.
models. So I'd love to see them add in a model selector as well.
Well, they might actually have something with Anthropic though.
They
I
may.
thought I feel like I heard something that like they have a connection with them, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're like they have a partnership where they're getting a discount on credits or something
I
until
mean, yeah, if they are, then Anthropic is the way to go. Like Claude
yeah.
models have been, at least in my opinion, consistently on top for, I would say, all of 2025, unless I'm forgetting about something. Like
Yeah.
GPT-5 was the biggest disappointment ever. It was garbage. I have not used
That
it.
one got so hyped and then like everyone used once it actually got out, everyone's like, this isn't special, you know?
It wasn't
Like
even not special. It sucked. Like honestly, 4.0, it loved gaslighting you into thinking it was doing a good job, but like I loved using 4.0.
mhm.
It was just it felt like a good model. Whereas 5, I don't like
Yeah.
it at all for anything.
Cool. So we're kind of at time here. Let's just go through raffle through a few more questions here. Just kind of going. So, kind of one question I have, just general question is what's Webflow's strategy behind AppGen? I think because I kind of see it two ways. I think either A, they're actually trying to compete with the other vibe coding tools and really are trying to take a share of that market and be the best. And I think if they want to do that, they're going to need to do what you and I were talking about, really make styling good and solve that problem that a lot of others have failed at. Or so there's kind of that side. Are they really trying to take that market? Or is this more so just to stay competitive, to kind of bring people into the Webflow ecosystem through this that might not have got there another way, to make people say like, oh, Webflow's got this AI thing, they're up to speed with everybody else. Like, is this just in a way kind of a side thing that they're doing
Like
just
for
to try to build the
investors.
core product? Or is this like actually something they want to have as being a huge part of the Webflow product that drives revenue towards it? Or is this more just on the side? What do you think?
Well, I will say that if it is something, so if they are just trying to keep up and that's the point of this, then that I think is a really, really bad idea. And I'll tell you why, because like if that's the case, and often that would just be for the purpose of impressing investors looking like, why don't we have more AI features? Okay, we'll get this in, and then kind of just not putting much time and effort into it. If they
Mhm.
do that, what's going to happen is it's going to bring the Webflow crowd into vibe coding. It's going to be like um, their first look into it, their first touch, their first kiss of a vibe coding tool, let's say. And then if they don't put enough effort into it, what's going to happen is people are going to start to like vibe coding through that, and then they're going to start to use other tools.
Yeah.
Similar, for example, to like Molly on my team when I was mentioning, she was using Lovable. That's what got her into vibe coding, and then she started using Claude Code. So if they do that and they don't put enough effort into it, it's going to be a stepping stool away from Webflow, which is obviously a horrible idea. If
Yeah.
they're doing it and it's something that's important to them, then I think they really have to lean into what Webflow's best at, which is making it easier for people to not just build performant websites, but to build pixel perfect websites as an expert would. If they can bring that into AppGen, then I think, I mean, look, Lovable's massive already. I think they've been around for just over a year and they're valued at like 2-3 billion, something like that. It's not like they're going to just take over and become the number one. They can carve their way into the market. And if they do that properly and leaning into their strengths, then I think what's going to happen is they're going to be able to position themselves as the vibe coding tool for professionals. And I think that's a really smart move. And I hope that's what they're
Yeah.
doing. I'm going to say I think that's what they're doing because I have a lot of faith in the Webflow team. Back in, I don't even know what year, I want to say like 3 years ago, I was getting really frustrated with the Webflow team. It felt like they weren't listening, no new features, like
Mhm.
bugs were just popping up out of nowhere. And then they changed their team and their structure and everything really. And since then, the direction Webflow's been heading in has been amazing. The team, they feel really involved with the community. And it seems like they're not just in it to make investors happy, but to actually build a good product that people are going to love and people are going to use. So based on that, the answer to your question is I think they're doing it the right way, and I hope they're doing it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the Webflow team's too smart and they're too, future focused to not just do this. I don't think they're doing it just to keep up with the times, you know.
Yeah.
I think they see this as a real threat to their overall business and they've got to keep up. And so I think they really are trying to, get into that space, make it a really good product. I think maybe the Webflow team of, 4 or 5 years ago, it might have been it kind of felt a little bit more like that where some of the features they shipped like memberships, right? It seemed
Yeah.
like they shipped it, they didn't update it, memberships and logic specifically, where it was like they just shipped these features, they had problems that never got fixed and no one really ended up adopting them because they didn't put enough effort into them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my feeling with AppGen. I don't want it to fall into that boat of just being
No.
another thing that ends up in the Webflow graveyard in a few years that no one adopted because they didn't put enough time and investment into making it really good. And I
Yeah.
don't think that will be the case this time. As far as one of the last questions here, we haven't really touched on pricing. So like for people here watching who want to get into this, what does pricing look like? I know it's beta, so we don't really know exactly how pricing is going to be, but what should people expect from this?
Well, I would say, I mean, right now it's in beta and it's just like it's included in your
Mhm.
site plan. And ideally, I think they should keep it the same way. Ideally, I think they're going to have to like eat the cost on the credits and on the building to then make the money from the hosting. And I do think it's a pretty smart business model. Like let's say somebody uses 20, 25, 30, $40 in tokens to build out their app and then they're hosting it for $30 a month, it's
Yeah,
going to be like minus profit, continuous profit. That's what I
right.
think they should do. And like you said, when you were using Replit, I felt the same way, even though I mean, I like my cloud subscription is $100 a month. I mean, MemberStack pays for it, but like I am an individual who, in my position, am more than happy spending money on these tools. But when I can't get to that aha moment, send someone a link or something like that until I've paid for it, well, it's just going to kill adoption, I think. And
Yeah,
so my advice to Webflow is try to make sure people can get to that aha moment before you try to make them pay. And ideally include it in the site plans. That being said, I'm not one of those people who, like every app store review where it's like 1 star, why isn't it free? Like they got to make money.
yeah,
They need to
yeah.
make money. And I understand that. So assuming that aligns with their finances, then I think they should do that. I hope they will do that. And yeah, we'll see. But I mean, they have those add-ons, right? And like they started charging more money for other stuff, which again, I understand and I respect. So we may see them do that. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised, but I'm not too worried. Like if they nail it, if it's like we are the vibe coding tool for professionals, you want to come and build like vibe code something, but have pixel for pixel control over it. Come here. People would spend a lot of money for that. I would spend a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
So, I think execution is more important than pricing. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd agree. And it seems like it is pointing to that where I think like right now, if you have a paid workspace or you have a like paid site plan, AppGen is basically free. I know like once you deploy it, like you can look at Webflow cloud pricing because I think that's how that works, but it's pretty generous. I think you get like a million what is it, like a million sessions up to that for free before you even start getting charged. So if you're
Okay.
doing like I think if you've already got like a paid workspace and you're not shipping apps that are going to be like super heavily used, it's almost going to be free at least in the near term unless they start like charging per usage, which I hope they don't because I
Yeah.
think that will turn a lot of people off. But for me right now, kind of what you're saying, where like, yeah, you get you have your Claude Code subscription paid for MemberStack, like that's kind of where I'm at as well. Like this is already included in like all the costs that we pay at Amply for our Webflow workspace. So like it's just nice that like I can spin something up, have an actual link, have it fully free for me, rather than like even if Replit's a little better, now I've got to I don't want to pay for that out of pocket if I'm doing it for work. Now I've got
Yeah.
to go like get approval for a Replit subscription or a Lovable or whatever it becomes. And so like
Yeah.
that's just a turn off if I'm just trying to throw something up quick. So I think that's a good reason. Like I would, at the end of the day, I love that vibe coding is fun, right? This was just an idea in my head and I got something that worked in like less than an hour. And there's so many more ideas I have like that are now like possible to just spin something up just for me. It doesn't need to be for other people. It doesn't need to do anything like that. But I feel like we're kind of moving into this age of like personalized software where you have a problem, you have an idea you want to solve just for you. You can just vibe code it out in a few minutes and then just use it for yourself. You don't even have to like sell it or create any like user account stuff. You can just do that. And it's almost like in the past, I might go to a spreadsheet and try to like whip together something that I would use. It's almost like this can kind of replace that flow a lot of times of just like, I'll just vibe code something that can, be better than a spreadsheet in the
Yeah.
past. So I love vibe code and I think it's definitely getting bigger. And so really excited to see where Webflow takes this.
Yeah, agreed. Hopefully in the right direction. I think it will be, again, just because of my faith in the Webflow team. I think to wrap things up, like App Gen as a beta is amazing, but I think we're, that meme where it's like the two different roads and like one of them's like the haunted house and one, I feel like we're in
Yeah.
that point right now. And I feel like this could end up in the Webflow graveyard. And that I think would be a horrible decision. It would make me very sad. But I also think we can be in a position where, I mean, my worlds are colliding right now between Webflow and between vibe coding.
Mhm.
And if Webflow pulls this off correctly, then I'll be very happy because I'm at a point now, again, this is something that's unique to my situation because I don't have clients sending me Figma files or designers sending me Figma files. I can just build anything and have it look good. And lately, when I'm making a landing page for something, I've been vibe coding it. I haven't even been doing it in Webflow lately. But I love Webflow and I feel the trade-off of the fact that I can't fine tune this like I can in Webflow. I can't make it perfect exactly how I want to. And so I'm assuming there are quite a few other people like me, whether or not they're spending more time vibe coding or more time in Webflow. It's like we're at a point where there's a trade-off either way. And I think Webflow has a chance to make it so there's no longer a trade-off. And I think people would pay a lot of money for that. Like, even if they do make it expensive, if it does that properly, well, it's enjoyable to use, then I think a lot of people are going to pay for it. So I'm excited. Any final thoughts?
No, I think, we've shared a lot of good stuff here. Hopefully you guys have gotten some good value out of it. Really just excited to see what Webflow does here and how it improves. I think it's a good beta and, I'm not expecting it to be perfect. So, and hopefully they see this stream and, take some of our tips here on how to improve it. So
hi, Webflow people. Listen to me, please.
But
Awesome.
Yeah, Julian, really appreciate, you jumping on, sharing all your vibe coding expertise. But yeah, this has been great. So thanks guys for hopping on and joining us here.
I like our first comment. I just got here. Please start over. You can watch the stream. We're not starting over.
We just finished, Josh. No, this was fun though. Excited for you guys to, check it out if you just got here, rewatch it and see what you think. So
yeah. It was a good time. I'll see you in 2 weeks then.
Yep. Peace out.